Mark, you are never allowed to go to a baseball game ever again.
I know. Cubs got worked yesterday from the Mets.
That was the absolute worst game of baseball I've seen them play this year. And I was sitting at home like I had pure FOMO. I was super pissed because I had to stay home and watch the dog. And then the first 2 innings happened and they get shelled. I was like, yeah, I'm good here.
Mets were.
You know what? I'm going to disagree with you there, Smithers. Only on the point that, Mark, you can still go to any baseball game you like because you were there when the Cubs won the World Series.
Yeah.
You had that O face or whatever you made.
And when they were National League champions.
I can't believe I didn't send you that GIF yesterday at all. Of you just going like
me
this.
Freaking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was.
Why don't we use that GIF more
often?
We need to use that all the time. We need to make that a GIF and just use it all the time.
I did make it a GIF.
Brick, sit still. You're disconnecting from your alien body. It's
there we go. Yep,
very disconcerting.
Beep boop. My body can disconnect from any
part
part of my body
this week.
Oh my God, the worst idea ever though. Did you see how many scooters are now in Chicago? Those electric scooters.
I feel like whatever waiver they have you sign has to be the most ironclad thing in the world because Chicago drivers will just kill you and keep going.
They're the most impatient drivers of all time. I get it, like California. First of all, your local traffic is not as busy as Chicago's.
No.
Maybe the highway.
Oh God, yeah.
It's a bad idea. People
also,
are going to die.
We have public transportation here. You don't need a scooter. If you can take that anywhere except for like the Lakeshore Drive path, then that's a terrible idea.
Well, scooters are fun.
Every summer, without fail, there's always somebody who takes a divvy onto Lakeshore Drive. Like it's always somebody who's listening to their GPS and they have it set for car. You know, you can turn it so it has a bike setting, your Maps app.
Yeah, but then you end up on
But people don't pay any attention and they just end up on Lakeshore Drive. And then the fucking cops come and it's just a big scene.
I don't know. I've already seen 3 dudes on one of those fucking scooters riding it.
3 at once?
I swear, yeah. I was like, what the fuck are they doing? And they're all just like nut to butt. Just like arms over each other driving this freaking scooter down the street. I'm like, you guys are...
There's got to be a weight limit, right?
It was going pretty slow, but still, they were moving.
Brick, does Denver have that yet?
They have to. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Denver's had them. They're cruising. I haven't done it yet, but I've been wanting to. But also not wanting to because I don't want to get killed.
Terrible idea.
Denver is a good city to do it because everyone's just high as shit, using a lot of caution, stopping at stop signs, just like, no,
dude,
you go ahead.
You think that's the opposite. Nope, it's literally people are trash drivers here. Like I see an accident like once a day. Like it's just like, oh, I'm high, and then just like rear end somebody.
I also think it's
not that I'm aware high. It's
but
like
are they going like 10 miles an hour or
high.
like 50?
There's both. You know, there's both. Plus the rain, just like, it'll just hail out of nowhere. So like the road, and there's no like drainage, so like the roads are just like terrible sometimes.
Have you broken your windshield yet? Because everyone in Denver, it's required. You have to have a cracked windshield. Just because there's rocks falling everywhere.
Don't put that evil on me. Don't put that evil on me, Smithers.
Ask your roommate. He knows.
Okay.
He can't stop getting into car accidents.
Oh,
but
that's true. Yeah. No, yeah, it's true. Okay, I will ask him. And I did know the story.
So the NBA draft was this week, and Darren Ravel, infinite nerd, pulls up this picture from 1990, and it's a picture of Manute Bol. You guys remember Manute Bol?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He's the most giant, awkward-looking man ever.
Yep.
And he's swimming in a pool. So it's like this Sports Illustrated picture, and it looks like a ghost. I saw that picture. I'm like, no, that's a fucking ghost, dude. It's just.
I haven't seen the picture yet.
Okay, look at Darren Ravel's Instagram feed if you can stomach it. But
really?
It kind of led me down this path of I don't believe in ghosts. And I'm guessing that Mark does.
I do. 100%.
Okay. Can you tell me why you believe in ghosts?
Because I've seen a ghost in my room when I woke up.
I don't believe you.
Dude,
wow. I believe you, Mark. Because ghosts are real. Because they're lost spirits that have some sort of unfinished business that they need to attend to, or they need to be just like a dick.
So what was the unfinished business of the ghost in your bedroom? What brought that ghost there?
There was always a ghost that would follow me around ever since when I was like a freshman in high school, and we all went out to have you ever been to the Hip, the mall?
No.
It's like northwest suburbs, but there was literally an insane asylum there that was abandoned. Like everything you would picture an abandoned insane asylum to be was there. It had like the merry-go-round swing that wouldn't stop moving. It was always just like the wind was like carrying it.
This is the most made up thing I've ever heard in my life.
I swear. So, and of course there was like just one part of the fence that people like took bolt cutters to.
Of course.
And you had to go in through it, and you'd go inside, and you couldn't go down to the basement because that was flooded, and it was creepy as shit. There was no lights anywhere. There was little classrooms with just like blood on the wall, but
there was not blood on the wall, dude.
Blood on
I'm
the
so
wall.
full of shit.
I swear to God.
Like some raccoon got into a fight with like a possum and just got slaughtered.
I'm not saying there was like a murder there, but people would go in there and fuck around and make it look creepy as shit. But no joke, we heard like a distant voice like fucking chanting something, and we're all like, dude, stop.
Like?
Someone's fucking with us. And
What did it sound like?
Yeah, it was kind of just like a
Start a movie podcast.
Start the Chumpcast. But no joke, you couldn't go upstairs. Like upstairs there was I don't know how to explain it, but you didn't go upstairs because it was so fucking scary. But anyways, we're running out of there because we're scared shitless, and we look back, and no joke, there's like a fucking lady in like the third story window just staring at us, dude. And ever since that happened, she follows me around. She follows me around.
So it's basically It Follows. Like this ghost is going to come fuck you, and then you're going to die.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Everybody's got a ghost story, except there is no actual documentation. Like everybody in the world has a camera now. There's no way that we wouldn't have definitive proof. Like aliens exist.
Ghosts are immune to it.
Now we have
Our technology makes them invisible. Duh.
Everything is declassified now, and all this alien shit that's going around. We know there are aliens. Ghosts are not fucking real.
They're real.
No, they're not. Everybody tells me a ghost story. Erica's got one. I'm like, no, you saw something, but it wasn't a ghost.
No. You cannot let just the people know everything at once. The government will slowly leak out. Aliens exist. They can't just be like this. Oh, yo, ghosts and demons are alive, and so are aliens.
So there's a government.
People will be like, "That's what world is over."
How did we get to demons? There are demons now too.
Ghosts. Demons are basically dick ghosts, right?
What?
There's good ghosts and bad ghosts, dude.
What is name a good ghost?
Casper.
Slimer?
Casper. Oh, we double dipped on Casper.
Except
Hell yeah.
that's not real. That's a comic book and a movie.
What about that ghost from Hocus Pocus? What's his name?
The cat?
But yeah, he's a ghost. He takes the bodies of. No, he doesn't. Never mind.
Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm mixing up a bunch of Halloween movies. Never mind.
Rick, you have a ghost story, I assume, or you're just gullible.
I'm just agreeing with Mark for some reason.
Okay.
Cheers.
I get so mad because my mom watches all those ghost hunter shows, and every time I'm home, I'm like, "Will you turn this?"
Well, you've never done anything spooky. That's why.
So I feel like
you're a square, dude. You're a square. You never do anything spooky.
Everybody's got an insane asylum story, because we had one where I grew up out in Mantino. I can't remember what it was called, but it's an abandoned insane asylum.
Yeah.
And everybody went out there. Like that's just what you did when you were in high school. Yeah.
No.
And guess what? There were no fucking ghosts. There definitely wasn't any blood on the wall because it wasn't a fucking crime scene. You idiot.
You didn't have any creative kids in your neighborhood to spruce it up a bit.
Yep, my entire town and the fucking Tri-County area was just lame. That has to be the story.
That's possible, dude. You're pretty lame.
You guys suck. Aliens are real, ghosts aren't.
Wow. Fake news alert.
All right, that's it.
I was like, what's going on?
And then I don't know what else we're going to say.
Gotcha.
I just figured, like Brick, for you to believe that there are actually ghosts, I just figured you would have had to have an encounter at some point. But I guess
no, man.
not.
Sometimes you just gotta believe.
Okay.
News to us.
All right, so we're not quite at the end of the month yet, but all the new streaming stuff has already been released. So they just keep pushing this further and further back. It's kind of like the box office, how Thursday is the new Friday for movie releases. Mm-hmm. It used to be Thursday at midnight or Friday morning at midnight, I guess, and now it's just like 5 p.m. showings on Thursdays just to get the box office numbers up.
Yeah, it's great.
They're earlier and earlier.
Yeah, it's the same kind of thing with the new streaming stuff. So as always, we start with Netflix. I feel like in the summer, the movies that they release are less good because they know people are outside and shit. They release some TV shows, which...
Dude, Stranger Things, the 4th, baby.
Why are they releasing this on the 4th of July?
Because I think it has to do with that time period. Like you saw...
Yeah, it's summer. Yeah, they used to release it around Halloween, right?
I bet the first episode of the season is going to be 4th of July.
Probably.
Celebrating it.
And we did get a new trailer for this, and it looks like Billy is now possessed.
I guess. That's what it looks like. Who knows, though?
I didn't look at the trailer. I'm rewatching seasons 1 and 2 right now, and it's fun. I'm rewatching it with somebody who hasn't seen it yet, so it's like I'm just all on the Steve bandwagon, and Steve's like such a dick in the first season. It's like, nah, dude, Steve's the best. Steve's the best. Keep it with it.
Steve.
Dude, Steve's awesome.
I also love that he's best friends with Adam Schwartz, Ben Schwartz, right? The guy from Parks and Rec, John Ralphio.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
I love that they're best friends because they look exactly the same with the big hair and shit. It's hilarious. It's the best friendship in all of television.
Too. Yeah.
All right. Anyways, new to streaming. We're getting Caddyshack 1 and 2. The original Cloverfield, which I think is actually a decent monster movie.
I like that movie. And that was one of the first live video camera type shaky cam movies.
Not even close.
Yeah, it was.
Blair Witch Project out like 15 years before that.
True.
There were probably 3 Blair Witch movies before Cloverfield came out.
And you don't believe in spooky ghosts after watching Blair Witch?
It's a movie. It's not a documentary. It's a fucking Hollywood production, you idiot.
I saw Blair Witch, probably when I was 11, and the whole thing was that like they tried to keep it as if it was real for how long?
Yeah, well, that was part of their marketing genius of that, because back then not everybody had the internet and all of the information in the world at their fingertips. They could act as though those people died and this was actually found footage.
Yeah,
but it definitely wasn't. You couldn't do that now. But yeah, that was pretty great.
Yo, witches are real though. That's actually a fact. I had a witch encounter.
They prefer to be called Wiccans.
That's true, actually.
And also, those people are idiots.
Hilarious.
I'm just going to attack everybody on this episode. If you believe in ghosts, you're an idiot.
What about witches?
I mean, what qualifies someone to be a witch? What is the cutoff? Can you actually do magic? Do you have to be able to do magic?
Yes.
But like not card tricks?
No, like actual magic.
I want somebody with a cauldron and a big wart on her nose and a fucking black cat that talks. Then I'll believe in witches.
And a broom that can fly.
Yeah, that too. Then it's Harry Potter.
Dude, that's just Hollywood, dude. Witches are real.
Witches are not real. Anyways, Inglourious Bastards, great movie. Tarantino, coming July 22nd, day before my birthday. Nobody forget. Lady in the Water. The worst M. Night Shyamalan movie ever made.
I've never seen it.
Saying something.
Never heard of it.
It's... What was it? The Village? The Village was really bad. This one was worse.
Was it better than The Happening?
Ooh, no. This is the worst one.
Why? Just because of that scene in The Happening where the guy lays down in front of the lawnmower?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty accurate.
It's an awesome scene.
Megamind, I feel, is an underrated animated movie. Is
Will
that
Ferrell?
Pixar, or is that
DreamWorks?
Okay.
DreamWorks.
Paul Blart Mall Cop, the first one.
Actually, a funny movie.
The OG.
Before they made the next 3 of them, yeah, it was recently funny. And
there's 3 of those?
There are at least 2. I don't know if 3 is... I don't know.
There's 3's on the way. 3's on the way, if that's the case. 3's on the way.
Starsky and Hutch, which I feel is criminally underrated. I think we've talked about this before.
It's one of the funniest movies ever. I fucking love that movie.
It's hilarious.
Fantastic cast.
And the cameos are brilliant, and
his acting when the cocaine goes in the coffee.
Yeah.
Ben Stiller's.
So good. So dumb, but so good.
Dude, and Owen Wilson's so the dance off.
Oh yeah.
I got half of my white people dance moves from that dance off alone.
That's
the guns is a killer.
So if you haven't seen Starsky and Hutch yet, it's coming to Netflix, and you should definitely check that out. We're also getting a new season of Comedians in Cars Getting Coffee. Brick, I know you're on board for that.
Hell yes, all about it. Give me some more Jerry, drinking some coffee, just cracking jokes. It's the best.
All right, coming to Hulu, Bad Santa. I feel like another underrated comedy. Billy Bob Thornton just being an absolute asshole. Yep. Hilarious. Bull Durham.
Bad Santa, isn't that a little early?
Yeah.
Don't they just do that on?
Don't they do Christmas in
Maybe they're
July?
getting- I guess half Christmas. So
Sure.
that makes sense. Checks
Bull
out.
Durham, Con Air, all-time Nick Cage movie, Con Air. You should have.
You know, I don't think I've ever seen Con Air. I might have seen it.
You 100% have to watch this. It's brilliant.
Is that
It's
on my 100 bucket list movie?
I hope so. We're getting the 2005 version of King Kong. Minority Report with TC.
Yeah,
Hey,
not
is the King Kong with Jack Black or is it the other one?
This is the Jack Black one, I believe.
Sick.
Who's coming downstairs? There's Erica doing her laundry because we're recording an episode. Hi,
Hey, don't be
Erica.
mean to her.
Hello,
dude.
Erica. I said hi.
She can hear you. Reservoir
Hi, Erica.
Dogs,
Hello.
Revenge of the Nerds, Spaceballs, Superbad Swingers.
Super bad, yeah.
It's not a bad month for Hulu, actually.
That was all from Hulu. Damn. That's
yeah,
a good,
Amazon
that's
Prime.
A good list.
Dumb and Dumber. You guys haven't seen Hackers, have you?
Who's it with?
I think I
Angelina
have.
Jolie.
No.
Oh my god, dude! This is
Is it good?
the ultimate '90s what people thought hacking was movie.
Okay.
Like there's a
Awesome.
scene where the main character Erica's
in a
grabbing
hoodie.
tools out of my toolbox, and I'm now terrified. He's like pumping himself up in the mirror,
Okay.
and he like reaches behind his back and pulls out 2 floppy disks.
Dude.
Oh,
Does he have a
sick,
hoodie
dude.
on in a
Weapons
dark
of the
room and he's
future.
just fucking-
Floppy 'em.
It's brilliant, dude. I love it. And also coming to Amazon Prime, the original Hellboy, which I still think is worth a watch. Last but not least, HBO. We're getting Bohemian Rhapsody. So if you didn't catch that in theaters, turn your stereo all the way up and watch this movie.
Tough.
That's the
I
only way to watch it.
haven't seen it yet. I've wanted to. I saw Rocket Man too, so I want to.
You saw Rocket Man?
Compare and contrast.
Yeah,
Rocket
you reviewed it on the
Man.
show. You don't? Okay.
I don't remember.
Mark doesn't pay attention. Fantastic Beasts 2, which was very mediocre. We didn't see First Man for the show, did we? I don't know what came
No,
out
we
that
didn't.
week. But it got a lot of Oscar consideration, and that's coming to HBO next month. Red Sparrow, we did review. I feel like that came out a long time ago.
Same. It did.
I wasn't on
And-
the episode for that.
It was poop.
It was
I hated
fine.
that movie.
Yeah, we had...
I was like
You had your
sleeping.
friend
Like
on, right?
I almost fell asleep in the first 2 hours of it.
wow. Okay. And we didn't see Widows either, but I actually heard that was a sleeper. It was where all of
Widows.
these actresses' husbands get murdered, and then they basically take up the life of crime to pay off some debts. So
Kelly
I'm
won't
actually-
let me live that down because we were going to go see that, but that was the week of Anna and the Apocalypse, and you were all psyched up about that movie, so we saw that instead.
It was a zombie musical. How am I not supposed to be hyped up for that?
Fucking the worst.
Dude, go. You know what? I fucking hate you, dude.
Pwned.
All right, let's talk about some trailers. I guess Stranger Things. What do we even talk about here other than this is the most hyped show possible right now? And
I thought the trailer was epic, though.
it was, man. I think they're almost doing that thing where they release a little too much information, but also they could just be doing complete misdirects. So
I don't know. The music pumped me up. You got to see a little bit of every character in the trailer.
That 80s synth gets me every time. I fucking love it, dude.
do you think they're going to do this long enough to get into the 90s?
I don't know. Maybe. You think this could be a show where we see them grow up type thing?
I think they probably can't produce it fast enough to keep up with that.
But they
It's
could
been
do
a
like
year and a half,
5 years
yeah.
later. They could do like 5 years later or whatever.
I guess. Yeah.
And then there's going to be the reunion in 50 years when they all come back as old people, super
Yep.
meta actors.
They're all trying to do other stuff now, though. Like Finn Wolfhard is in a band, and I guess we can just talk about this now because this Gaten Matarazzo news is endlessly hilarious to me. So he's putting out a prank show on Netflix, and the premise is people are tricked into thinking they got hired for a job, but in reality, they show up and they're like, they put them in spooky situations because these people are too stupid to know the ghosts aren't real.
Dude, amazing. wait. If this is the guy from the League, right?
No, what? This is the guy
Wait,
from
say
Stranger
the-
Things.
Get in Maserado.
The kid with no teeth.
Who's the guy? Who's like Rafi from the League?
Jason
with the crazy
Mantzoukas.
hair? That guy would be
not even.
he would make a great, hilarious
near
prank
what we're
host.
talking about.
I'll be
Okay.
honest. But anyway, go ahead.
Back to what I was talking about. The internet was
Sorry.
immediately furious. Like if you search through hashtags for this on Twitter, people are super pissed because everybody's really butthurt that like, oh, you convince these people that they got a job and then they show up and they just get pranked. Like that's really funny. But they had to clarify later in the week that all of these people knew that it was a one-day job. It's not somebody showing up for the first day of their career for the next 40 years.
They probably weren't qualified to get a job anyways.
And they paid them for their time. So
That's even
maybe
better.
don't just get overly pissed off about something before you have any idea what's happening.
No, that's amazing. I'm all about this series. That's hilarious.
Also, you get to be on TV with the kid from Stranger Things.
What was the greatest
Yeah.
prank on TV you've ever seen?
Oh, probably.
Was it like some punked episode?
It was definitely on Punk'd. I think, didn't they take Justin Timberlake's car or like foreclose on his house? That was extreme.
Oh, and he would like cry. Yeah, that was awesome. That was awesome.
They did one with Frankie Muniz too. And I think that was kind of the turn where everybody figured out that Frankie Muniz was actually kind of an asshole.
Perhaps.
The greatest. Go ahead.
My favorite prank is that John Cena phone prank, to be honest.
Oh, that's
so funny.
That's classic.
It's a classic.
All-time prank phone call.
Did you guys watch Nathan For You?
Yeah.
Yes.
Remember the one, speaking of spooky, remember the haunted house? The scariest haunted house where he had all these people go through a haunted house. And then at the end, he's like, wait, did one of the workers actually touch you? And they're like, yeah, she touched it. He's like, oh my God, we got to call an ambulance. So they called an ambulance and all these guys were in like the hazmat suits. They're like, we need to get these people in a quarantine. They're going to catch the disease. And all these people after they went through the haunted house were freaking out. They brought him like to the hospital, everything. And like all these people were crying. They're like, what is wrong with me? And they wouldn't tell him. And then like, Nathan For You walks in. He's like, that's the end of the haunted house.
That's pretty hilarious, actually. He's brilliant, man. I hope he keeps doing shows like that. I know they canceled that show, but that's amazing.
They should
Dumb
not have canceled
Starbucks.
it. It was,
Dumb Starbucks was great.
dude, that was amazing. But also, I think my favorite was when they had the gas rebate on top of the mountain, and they had to like climb up the mountain, and he was like giving him riddles all the way up, and they almost were there, and he like totally turned it on them. Oh, it was so funny.
Oh man.
He was in one of my
Love
favorite
Nathan
Rick
For
and
You.
Morty episodes too. The multiverse.
That was mine too. The miniverse.
The miniverse.
Oh yeah.
The miniverse. The microverse.
He fi-
think it's so many
Nathan finds
voices
out
on
his
that
life
show.
was a lie the whole time.
Stephen Colbert was in that episode too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, moving on with other Stranger Things actors now that are just doing everything. David Harbour, who we just saw in Hellboy, which everybody hated. He's in this movie called Frankenstein's Monsters Monster, Frankenstein. So that's already super confusing, but I'm in for it because it's David Harbour.
Wait, Frankenstein's monster?
Frankenstein's Monsters Monster, Frankenstein.
Oh,
It's a palindrome.
okay, yeah.
race
Frankenstein's
car,
monster,
anyways.
monster, Frankenstein.
Like race car.
So he plays this character that uncovers lost footage from his father's televised staged play. It's super over the top, and it's kind of like a mockumentary, apparently.
Okay.
And it's kind of mystery expense. I don't really know anything about this, but they announced it's coming out like next month. So that's a great thing about Netflix to me is that they just drop something, they drop a trailer, and like with a movie, you got to wait 6 months. How long ago was the first trailer that we got for Spider-Man Far From Home? 6 months ago? We just got
Probably.
yeah, and same thing with Star Wars. They do them like 9 months in advance, and you're like, okay, I guess they're just going to keep releasing footage from this every week until the movie, and basically I've seen the entire thing by now. Netflix doesn't have to do that.
They just pop, lock, and drop it.
That's my rant of the day. But
Now that I know that this is a mockumentary, I like that it has a stupid name. Frankenstein's Monsters, Frankenstein. That's like, if it's a fake dumb movie, I love it.
yeah, I'm in for that. Plus, I love David Harbour. I hope he
Same.
starts getting more big acting roles that are not Hellboy.
You think they're going to do another Hellboy?
Absolutely not. Or if they do, they'll completely reboot it and start from scratch. Because that's what they do.
Don't underestimate how dumb movie theater or movie companies are.
I guess that's true. So we got our first look at Pixar's new movie called Soul. And just a synopsis, basically, it's going to take you on a journey from the streets of New York City to the cosmic realms to discover the answer to life's most important questions. I don't know anything about this. It's directed by the guy who did Inside Out. His name is Pete Docter.
Okay.
Okay, so is this like the Disney animation like Pixar?
Yes.
Or is it like, okay. Oh.
Also, if your name is Pete Docter, don't you have to go to med school?
No, that's like basically he's the rebel of the family. Black
You got to be
sheep.
Doctor.
Doctor, MD.
Did you not get that the first time I said? Okay.
No, I got it.
No,
I got it.
I didn't.
Okay.
Thank you for spelling that out for me.
So this is another original idea from Pixar. Good for them, though.
Seems that way. Yeah. So they're not doing more sequels or remakes, and they're not falling into the Disney trap of just make everything live action.
Because what is the one with Tom Holland? That's Pixar, right? Or is that DreamWorks?
No, that is Pixar. Shit, I already forgot the name of it.
Yeah, they've been coming out with, I think there's one trailer out now, but it's all over the previews for movie theaters. It looks decent, though.
Yeah, we got an extended trailer for that before Toy Story.
Yeah.
And it's Chris Pratt, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Octavia Spencer. Hell yeah, I'm in for that. So we're getting some more news about the Spider-Man Venom kind of team-up thing, because Tom Hardy has officially signed on to do Venom 2. Mm-hmm. So the speculation now is, okay, we saw Carnage in the last one. When are we going to see Spider-Man? So Kevin Feige did an interview with Cinema Blend, and he said that the movie seems likely, like the team-up movie, but it's all up to Sony to make it happen. So basically, we're never going to see this because Sony can't do anything except for Into the Spider-Verse.
I think Sony's in the up and up with what they're doing. They're finally releasing their games for like movies now. They have the Twisted Metal thing coming up. I think they're going in the right direction. I'm with this headed by the Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. If that's like their cornerstone, move it in from there. Like, I think they got some good things in the works here.
But that's not really connected to the Venom movie that they did. I enjoyed it, but for the most part, people were underwhelmed. Right? I
don't know. I thought everyone that I talked to enjoyed the movie. No, I didn't really have any complaint. I mean, there were some dry parts, but like the banter between Venom and Tom Hardy was fantastic.
Well, we just love Tom Hardy, so.
True.
All right.
Oh, by the way, that Disney movie is called Onward, I believe.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Okay, Mark,
Yeah.
DC is killing Vertigo Comics. Why?
What are they doing?
They're killing Vertigo Comics.
Because why?
That's literally what I just asked you.
What are Vertigo
How are they
Comics?
killing Vertigo Comics.
They're going to stop making them.
Oh, I thought you meant they came out with something where it was just tainting the name or something.
So if you're not familiar with Vertigo Comics, they gave us Preacher, Why the Last Man, Sandman, Transmetropolitan, all that kind of stuff. So a lot of this stuff's been turned into TV. Preacher is ending, I think, after this season.
Well, what's the most recent?
What do you guys think of Preacher? Because I couldn't get into it, but isn't it Seth Rogen attached to it, or who's
he
attached
was
to
one
it?
of the producers. He and Evan Goldberg produced it.
But I don't know if anyone even. I feel like no one watched that show.
I feel like that's one of those cult shows that people don't really talk about.
Like that and
honest,
like Taboo. Do people like Taboo?
I don't even know what that is. Wait,
That's
was that the
Tom Hardy.
one? You're
Yeah.
just thinking about Tom Hardy now.
I'm all on Tom Hardy. He should be
Okay.
Wolverine, like I said before.
He's not going to be Wolverine.
Young Wolverine.
He's already Venom in this universe.
That's a different universe, you Fruit Loop.
Not if Spider-Man's still involved.
Same
Okay.
universe.
I can see your
Okay.
brain turning
Okay.
into a pretzel right now.
I
so
got
we're
you.
just going to move on.
I got you. I'm with you. It's churning.
All right, back to that though. So they're killing Vertigo Comics, but what is Vertigo Comics even doing? I don't know. I'm not reading any titles from them. I don't know if they even came out with any new titles.
Why? Well,
Doom
why the
Patrol.
last? So I think that generally we look at stuff from like the Hollywood TV movie side of things.
Yeah.
Why the Last Man has supposedly been in production for like 2 years, and it's
Okay.
just plagued by every kind of problem that you can think of. So I don't know if they're going to cancel that, or this is a story that's been completed. Mm-hmm. So he was the last man on Earth. He doesn't have a belly button because that's the only thing I remember from the original show.
Fuck.
But they were supposed to reboot this and try to make this new. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Basically, what I'm trying to say here is that DC keeps fucking up.
Okay. Well, I can't say that they're fucking up because me personally, I don't really care about any of the titles right now that are coming from Vertigo.
That's fair.
Wait,
'Cause everything else in my mind is
the
old, like
Watchmen in Vertigo
Sandman.
Comics?
Yeah, but Neil Gaiman's still writing stuff for them.
I couldn't tell you what.
Whatever.
Is Watchmen in Vertigo?
No, that is technically DC now. They completely stole that property.
That's ours now.
Ours. I like how you talk about it like you are DC.
He is DC.
You D-bag.
You're Marvel. I'm in between.
Back to Netflix news. Netflix says that Murder Mystery, the Jennifer Aniston and Adam Sandler movie, had the biggest opening weekend of any Netflix film ever.
Kelly watched that one.
I watched it too.
I watched it. I watched it too.
It was fun.
I think it was Jennifer Aniston that got me in.
Yeah. I don't. Adam Sandler, for a long time, deservedly so, caught a lot of flack for making bad movies. I think he's doing fine with Netflix. Some of this stuff still sucks, but I'm not having to pay $15 to go see it in the cinema, so I'm not mad about it.
Yeah.
It's like
I'm fine with it too.
The new version of straight to DVD.
What's his character like? Doesn't he have like a mustache? Is he doing his stupid little?
No. He's a normal guy who's just kind of funny.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
It has some good moments, but we're kind of glossing over the story here. So they're saying that 30.8 million people watched this in the first 3 days on the platform. And they didn't just say 30.8. They gave an exact to the single digit how many people, which makes me think, yeah, it's probably accurate at least. And Jimmy has given us in the past what they quantify as an actual view, and you have to have watched, I think, more than 70% of the actual title.
Damn. We got to get Jimmy back on here and talk some stuff with them.
I have many questions for them. But so if this was an actual opening in theaters, it would equate to about $120 million opening weekend, which, for reference, is about what Toy Story did, just in the U.S.
Wow.
This Adam Sandler movie did just as good as Toy Story, is what you're saying. It could have been.
I guess you could draw those parallels, kind of, not really, but
you fudged the numbers to a certain degree. That's pretty good. That's a good skew.
And a lot of people are speculating now as to why Netflix would be sharing this information. I think that Netflix investors are getting a little spooked.
Yeah.
With all the competition that's coming.
Yep.
Disney Plus is coming. We already got Hulu and Amazon Prime. This is already an overcrowded space, and I'm pretty sure that Netflix is going to have to start cutting their prices back because Disney is going to be, what, $8 a month, which is almost half of what Netflix costs. So,
oh shit,
it'll be interesting to see. But
I don't think people are going to drop Netflix because of Disney.
Well, I think that
people will add Disney because it's so much cheaper, and then they'll eventually raise the prices because they're Disney. But I don't think you're dropping your Netflix subscription. I didn't hear that.
So the problem with Netflix, quote unquote, is that they're basically ubiquitous at this point. Everybody you know has a Netflix account, or somebody gave them their password, right?
Is sharing. Yep.
So at some point, Netflix can't sell any more subscriptions. They've maxed out the revenue they can make, right? So either you raise prices or you start kicking people off that are sharing their accounts. So that's...
Or you cut ties with someone you have to pay a lot of money for their movies and dive deeper into original content.
Like Disney, which is what's happening because Disney's pulling all of their content from Netflix.
Yeah, so they're doing it. That's fine with me.
I guess what I'm saying is I'm all in for competition, but going up against Disney for basically anything is real difficult.
Do you think Netflix will ever do something like Netflix Live, like Hulu does?
Oh, you mean offer like cable channels?
Yeah.
I think that'd be too expensive of a space for them to get into. Plus, like, why? You know, you can already get that through so many places. I think that they're the anti-cable, so I don't think that they would get into that space.
Yeah.
Like Hulu came in and they were showing everybody else's content already. You know, like they had ABC shows and Fox shows and everything, and Fox and ABC and NBC owned a slice of Hulu.
Yeah.
So this is kind of the opposite of that. But I don't know. It's interesting stuff to me. Just I like the business side of stuff.
Do you think Netflix will ever do something live, like solely for Netflix?
I could see that happening. They do talk
where they're
shows
like
and
tune
stuff.
in on this day and we're releasing this.
They did the Chelsea Handler. Yeah. Norm Macdonald has a show. They do a lot of like talk show format stuff. Letterman's got that show. I'm sure they could do that. But I don't know. Just interesting.
I mean, how do you think they're going to make more money?
I have no idea at this point. I think that they could probably do it by scaling back actual production costs. And at a certain point, nobody cares about this, but Economies
No,
of
I
scale will
do.
kick in where
No,
you
keep going,
build up
keep
a
going.
huge studio and you kind of already have like sets and
Yeah.
producers and
Yep.
people on staff to actually produce your content. So the economies of scale there will allow you to produce more while costing less, like per minute or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like I said before, cutting ties with other people you got to pay money for their shit by making your own new shit.
This has been
Eloquently put.
Ryan's recipes. But back to
For
that
making money.
last point. So that's all cutting costs, cutting expenses.
Probably.
How do you think they're going to gain more revenue?
I don't know that they can.
Okay.
I think that the competition is going to be too hard.
I don't know either. I'm just asking.
I mean,
Raising
you either
prices.
raise
Like
prices
they just
or-
raised the prices.
Yeah. Or you just
And-
you stop account sharing and you make more people sign up for your service. I don't know.
I'm going to do a timeout real quick because there's one. We didn't talk about this that's coming out July 26th. The Boys on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you skipped over that or
We've
did you
talked
just go
about
ahead and bet
trailers
it?
for that in the past.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I didn't know. I was waiting for this and wondering when it was coming out. But apparently it is this month, July 26th. It's that superhero, edgy, like superhero type show.
They're right on the cusp of being a little too edgy.
You said it's this month, so it's in the
end
next
of
few
July.
days.
End of July.
Oh,
It's
end
in-
of July.
Yeah, end of July. So I'm just pumped for that, and I thought I'd just bring that up.
I love Carl Urban, and I think the premise is kind of. I think this was actually a comic book, and this is Seth Rogen too, isn't it? Isn't he producing this?
Yeah.
He's just all over everything, man.
Yeah, this is executive produced by Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg.
There you go. They're just doing all this comic book shit, which I appreciate, but I don't know. This is kind of hit or miss for me. I watched the trailer for it. Erica was like looking over my shoulder, and she's like, "This looks terrible." It's not really a show for
I
her.
thought it looked pretty awesome. And who is this? Who is Urban? Carl? You said Carl Urban? What has he
Carl
done
Urban.
before?
Yeah, he's been in a ton of movies. He was Judge Dredd. He was in Thor Ragnarok. He was the guy with the two guns and the tattoos on his head.
Oh,
Oh yes, Carl
Yeah,
Urban.
he's a
the
great
man.
actor.
I like him. He's in Star Trek.
Yeah, he's the
He's the
navigation guy. Okay.
The medic. Yeah, sweet.
One last story on Hulu. I'm sorry, on Netflix and Amazon Prime. 20,000 people have signed a petition. So this is already where I stop reading the
course.
headline.
Yeah.
Is as soon as I see how many people signed a petition, because everybody signs a fucking petition now, demanding that the series Good Omens be removed from Netflix. However, this is not a Netflix show. It's an Amazon Prime show.
Hilarious.
So not only have these people
Oh my
probably
God.
not seen this show, but they don't even know where it is.
is the problem? What's the problem they have with the show?
The
Sucks
petition
for
calls the
Netflix.
show a mockery of religion for depicting God as a tyrant and the devil as being good. The Christian group behind the campaign found an issue with other aspects of the show, like God being voiced by a woman, because obviously that's the worst thing ever, right?
no.
God can't be a woman. Oh, my pearls. Yeah, fuck off. And the portrayal of the Antichrist as a normal kid and the forerunners of the apocalypse as a biker gang and more. The only thing that this petition made me do is start watching this show because it sounds kind of awesome.
It was. I got through like 8 episodes of that, and then I stopped watching it for some reason. Some like other things like came out or something like that.
Well, there are
But
only
I
6
like enjoyed it.
episodes, So.
I enjoyed it. I was enjoying it thoroughly, and now I apparently fucking Spin Zone ruined it for me because apparently it's you just dropped a little bit of what happens.
I don't.
At the
I don't
end.
know. I haven't
Oh, well.
watched. I started watching it last night specifically because I read this headline and article. So
What'd you think?
I got like 20 minutes in. It seems interesting. I like David Tennant. I've liked him ever since
yeah.
he was Doctor Who. So
True.
I'm
I'm
into
a
that.
sucker for a period piece too because they go throughout like the history of them meeting and doing different things and throughout different like the French Revolution and all this stuff. It's actually pretty good.
what are the chances that this is some kind of marketing campaign, like super guerrilla marketing, where Amazon says there's? I mean, any news
No.
is good news, right?
Only because they did it on Netflix.
That's the funny part to me. And Netflix responded, or Amazon Prime. Netflix says, okay, we'll cancel this show because they can't. And Amazon Prime says, okay, cancel that show and we're going to cancel Stranger Things.
As
So
a
that's-
joke.
Good answer.
I think it's funny because fuck anybody who would sign a petition about this. If you don't like it, just
Especially the
don't watch
wrong
it.
petition.
Yeah.
That Netflix, they gotta take this down. Religion, peace, whatever.
I want to know what was the last petition that actually made a
That worked?
change. That worked. Yeah, exactly.
Can't think of one. Maybe something that brought a TV show back, but yeah.
Yeah, Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Cheers? Was Cheers?
I don't know if that was a petition. That was just, it went to a different network because NBC saw that people loved the show and they were going to keep making it.
I guarantee there was a petition out there.
Sure, but
but did that work?
Post hoc, ergo proctor hoc. Just because it happened doesn't mean that was the cause of it.
Exactly. No, maybe that was the start of it. The origins. Who knows?
You know.
So no petition ever works because
it's a petition.
Either the shit's going to happen or it's not. Your petition doesn't matter. Stop signing fucking petitions.
I guess neighborhood petitions, perhaps. Like putting up a stop sign.
Mayhaps, even.
Okay.
You know the one thing that these 20,000 people that signed this petition have in common?
What?
They're all dumb
believe in
idiots.
Ghosts.
Do they?
Because they're all fucking morons.
No, they probably don't believe in ghosts.
They're super religious. Of course they believe in ghosts. Isn't that the whole
They don't
thing?
believe
Like
in
Jesus
ghosts.
is a ghost?
Oh yeah, damn.
The Holy Ghost.
Got us there.
Yeah, they even use ghost in their moniker for Jesus. He's the Holy Ghost.
Dude.
Every one of these people believes in ghosts. Did you sign this petition, Mark?
I'm going to bring you to an insane asylum one day, abandoned, and we're going to go in there, and you will shit your pants, and you will see a ghost.
As long as you come with me, and I can just scare the shit out of you by, like, I'm going to bring like a chain and rattle the chain around, and you'll be like, oh my god, it's a ghost.
See, Brick didn't find that funny. He's a true believer.
Rick's
like
not
I
even
am.
paying attention.
True. Nope. I believe I'm with Mark, and I was debating on saying that I will be in the insane asylum creeping you guys out. Like you guys do the bet, and I'm just like in there being
Just
a weirdo.
naked,
That's
naked
what, but I
running
wanted
around.
to hold my tongue because I wanted
Why
it to
would
actually
you
happen.
naked?
Yeah,
Right,
butt ass
We
naked.
saw the itch trailer. If that old granny wasn't naked, would it be as scary?
No, but I thought you were going in a totally different direction with that in saying that we saw Brick in Scottsdale.
Imagine-
Obviously, he would be naked.
Imagine Brick just walking across the hallway naked, just like this. Just like
He'd be doing like the Pee Wee Herman dance. Like,
Yeah, you guys would be like, all right, that's hilarious. Start filming it.
best.
that's
Best.
We the best!
Worst.
The worst! She's the worst person in the world. Huge skank, terrible, but thank you.
all right, Brick. Who's your best man alive?
It's got to be Max Scherzer. My man got a broken ass nose, and then went out the next day and struck out 10. Kudos to him. Would have said something about John Cena, but I forgot the story. So
I literally emailed it to you. You probably have it in front of you.
I didn't check the email yet. Hilarious.
So, okay, we can talk about the Max Scherzer thing though, because did you see the video of him breaking his nose? It was kind of funny.
How did he break his nose?
He was taking batting practice, and he's a pitcher, so he's bunting. He's practicing his bunts, and he's doing it
Foul
so
ball off the face.
lackadaisically that he just like pushes at it and it just pops up and breaks his nose immediately.
The ball.
Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy is a consummate badass. Max Scherzer's the guy that's out there grunting on every pitch, and every time his manager comes out to take him out of the game,
He's like, no.
He's like, no.
I'm not coming out.
Was he
No.
bunting properly when he squared up?
he looked
had
like
the
he was doing it
bat?
kind of lazy.
Okay, so he probably had the bat like right in front of his face.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
I mean,
What a
he'll
dumbass.
definitely never do that again. But he broke his nose, and the next day he was slated to start a game. And you know Max Scherzer's not going to fucking go to the IL. He's going to go
He
out there
just
and
was like,
pitch.
no, I'm out. Let's go. I'm in.
So he goes out and he pitches like an absolute badass because that's what he does.
Nice.
And he had a giant black eye. Kind of hilarious. So
Those are just one of those stories. You just got to love it.
I guess we can talk through this John Cena thing now.
Yeah, please.
I'll just take it over. So
Do it.
John Cena was at a Padres game earlier this week to throw out the first pitch and to pay off a bet to a Padres minor league pitcher. So this guy's name is something Allen. Shit. I don't have his first name. Allen. Whatever. He's a big prospect for the Padres. And he met John Cena at a restaurant a couple years back. And they just kind of struck up a conversation because if you see John Cena, you would talk to John Cena, right?
Yeah.
Logan Allen.
Logan Allen, thank you. So they kind of talk for a little bit, and John Cena, to motivate the guy, bets him $1 that he'll never make it to the major leagues. And if the guy does make it, John Cena has to be there. He has to go to his first start.
Really?
John Cena, being the consummate professional, the awesome dude that he is, shows up to the game, throws out the first pitch. They're friends now.
What was his walkout song? I don't know if there's a better walkout song.
We've talked about this so many times.
Maybe Stone Cold's with the
glass breaks.
The glass breaking could be.
I could have that conversation about the walkout music that you would choose from now until the end of time, but
it's
we
the
beat
best.
that subject into the ground. Mark, who's your best man alive?
I have a best and worst man alive actually this week.
Wow, double dipping.
This story's not really funny. It's just kind of interesting. So this guy, what's his freaking name? Stephen
interesting
Mills
story.
from Alberta walked into a Canadian museum. I don't know what the hell the museum was. I won't get into it. But they had a safe in the basement that they were unable to crack. And for some reason, he was just like, hey, let me see if I could get it open. They legitimately had like a locksmith there. Everyone was trying to break this thing open. I don't know how they can't get a safe open, especially like a locksmith. Isn't that your job?
I mean, sure. Safes aren't all the same, though.
I know, but
And also,
by
there's
the
such thing
picture,
as
it's just
bad
a basic
locksmiths.
safe. But anyways, this guy walks up to it. His first try, he puts 20, 40, 60 and pops it open. Like just this random tourist walks into the museum.
First try?
That guy's a plant, for sure.
Dude.
Like, he just knew the combination. Was like,
So
let me give it a
weird.
shot.
So weird. What do you think was in the safe, Brick?
Diamond jewels from ancient China's dynasty.
Porn from the 1930s.
It was actually the severed head of the owner's grandma.
And then a ghost showed up.
Ooh!
It was actually the severed head of the owner's grandma.
I know
can't
you're
tell
not
if
being serious.
or not. I can't tell.
No,
It
Look how
was-
serious he is.
No, it was actually just a couple files and like
Yeah, of course.
old check stubs.
It'd be way cooler if it was a severed head, though.
It was actually a super lame opening of a safe. Like
Yeah,
probably
we
the
did.
lamest opening. There was nothing in there. It was just some fucking papers. So it was pretty stupid. But interesting story.
Oh, my
enough.
bathroom receipts.
Yeah. Next story, Smithers. We were talking about this prior to the episode, but supposedly there's a dude in Alabama that is giving one of his pet squirrels meth and making it become a meth-fueled attack squirrel. Basically, is his attack animal if any intruder comes in.
What?
Hey,
I mean,
first thing I thought of was that Rick and Morty episode.
that's what I said. Yeah.
Perfect. Where
But
the
that's
squirrels
also
are
why
like,
you
walking,
don't
come
fuck
here,
with
little boy.
squirrels."
Oh,
Dude.
we'll grant you 3 wishes if you come over here.
Yeah.
And I'm like, God damn it. Gotta
So
go different
worst man
universe.
alive for this guy being a catalyst at attempting to have squirrels take over the world.
Yep. That's
And
fair.
then also giving
That
this fucking
and just
squirrel
pure animal
hard-ass
abuse.
drugs.
And just animal abuse because he's a
Yeah,
fucking dick.
he's giving
dude.
a squirrel
Fuck
hard
that.
drugs. What the fuck's wrong with this guy?
You don't know what the effects of meth on a squirrel are. Maybe the squirrel's fine.
The
Oh,
quality
here's
of
some
life is a lot
poison.
better,
Come
maybe.
here.
I don't
This
know.
fucks up your body. It's basically
Yeah, we don't
poison.
know the
Alcohol is
dosage
poison.
technically.
Dude, squirrels can be mean. I wouldn't want a squirrel in my house.
I've been attacked
Yeah,
by a squirrel.
because people are giving them meth. That's why they're mean.
Do squirrels have rabies?
I think they all have rabies.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure.
I think they do.
Is that like how all koalas have chlamydia?
What?
You didn't know that?
Do they really?
Yeah.
Yo, that John Oliver chlamydia research.
Do they
You know
all just
that-
have sex
that
with
bit?
each other and it just spreads?
It's just like a very communicable disease between koala bears, I guess. And I guess something like 75% of all koalas in Australia have chlamydia.
Wow.
I don't know if it's the same as human chlamydia. I don't know enough about this, I guess. It's one of those things that you read and just doesn't leave your brain because it's so ridiculous.
What if you
Yo.
were one of the 25% of koalas that didn't and you like had a one night stand with another koala and they're like,
You better wrap it up, man.
it's like you got the disease now. You're like, what?
Don't be
What?
silly. Cover your willy. All right.
Yo, hang on. I gotta chime in on this koala bear chlamydia. So
You have hard facts?
John Oliver bought an item from Russell Crowe's divorce auction, and it was the $7,000 jockstrap from Cinderella Man. And so Russell Crowe donated the proceeds to a koala chlamydia foundation and named it after John Oliver. So it's John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Center, which is hilarious.
That's kind of amazing.
It's such a hilarious pwn. Oh my god!
What did you say he bought in the auction?
The jockstrap from Cinderella Man.
And it's almost
The jockstrap from
it's
Cinderella
almost
Man.
the Jock Foundation.
Close.
It is.
Wait.
It could be John Oliver,
should
Chlamydia,
be.
Koala. Damn.
I want to know what he actually named it though. It's the John Oliver Koala Chlamydia Award is what it's
backwards.
called.
It's backwards. but
Joxy.
Still, close enough.
I'll take it. I guess
But,
we can
yo,
talk
shout
about.
out to Russell Crowe. That's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, good job, dude. I got one other thing, and this is all of us at one point in our school careers. Listen to this. This is from a kindergarten graduation.
Boys and girls, shut the fuck up!
Hey, you're not nice.
No, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
You need to leave?
Dude.
No, bitch.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
No, bitch.
That kid
At
does
some
not
point,
wanna
every
learn
one of us
today.
has wanted to tell a teacher to shut the fuck up. And this kid started it at about 5 years old.
Oh my god.
That is my little best man alive.
He was really
Is that
angry.
that's like the kid from Role Models?
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
That
a
was
really
the kid.
good. Yeah. Okay. We can move on now. Let's talk about Toy Story 4. 98% on Rotten Tomatoes, 95% from fans. Already passed $240 million worldwide. This is going to crush. It's going to make $1 billion because Toy Story, Disney, whatever. Budget of $200 million. This is the directorial debut for Josh Cooley, who has done a lot of animating for Pixar and writing stuff. He wrote on Inside Out. The one thing that I have to complain about and I don't know if this is really a director thing, but where was the pre-movie short? We didn't get one this time.
I agree.
I wanted a creepy
Yes.
food item to come to life and bow.
Oh yeah, no, that was the worst Disney short ever. My favorite
No,
was like
disagree.
the
I
Lost
thought it
Paper
was
one.
great.
Did you ever see the Lost Paper one?
Where the guy and the girl fall in love.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
paper plane one. I like that one. That one was good.
Yeah,
But
most of them are really good.
Yeah, that's true. That's
Even
true.
the one with the little squirrel from Ice Age or whatever he is.
Isn't that DreamWorks?
Oh, it is, isn't it? But they did a short with him.
Yeah,
But okay,
I guess
I'm wrong.
Whatever. So this is obviously the movie that we didn't know we were getting. Toy Story 3 was supposed to be the wrap up for this entire series, and they were like, "Well, we could still get another $1 billion out of this." So here we are.
It's awesome because it wasn't forced. They added a bunch of new characters that were awesome. They didn't force it, which is what I really liked about this show, the movie.
Yeah, especially for one that wasn't required to wrap up a story on anything. I think they did a pretty good job. So,
And a star cast.
yeah, well, Toy Story always
Can we
has a
get-
star cast.
No,
but-
an additional star.
Let's get into that cast real quick before we go into the show or the movie. We got the classic Tom Hanks, Woody, Tim Allen, Buzz Lightyear, and what do you think about Tim Allen's role in this?
They
just
definitely
listen
cut
to
it
his-
back.
Yeah.
Because Tim Allen is now kind of a controversial person,
Mm-hmm.
I guess, just because of, I don't know. We're not going to get into that. But
Do you think it was that, or do you think it was because Buzz Lightyear is kind of a one-dimensional figure? You know, he's kind of like the spaceman or whatever.
So that's interesting that you say that, because I think that they toned him back. Like in the last two movies, he was more understanding of the world that he was in. He was understanding that he's a toy and he's not a spaceman.
In Brick's terms, there was a lot of character development in those first two.
Yeah, sure.
was.
It wasn't really true to the lore of Toy Story, if you will, because I feel like they really toned him back and they made him this real one-dimensional thing, like you were saying, where he's kind of space cadet. I'm going to listen to my inner voice, whatever.
Yeah.
Plus,
But Buzz Lightyear is like because he is a one-dimensional character, they had to kind of add a second lead, which was Bo Peep, which they did a fantastic job with Bo Peep,
no
played by
issue with
Annie
that.
Potts.
yeah, but also Tim Allen is not Tom Hanks. Like as far as kids today have no fucking idea who Tim
Allen is.
Allen is. I almost said Tim the Toolman Taylor, but that's
I
why
love
they
Tim
don't
the
know who he
Toolman
is.
Taylor.
So
That's his
there's
best
no
role.
Tool Time.
Well, there's no more reruns of Home Improvement.
Yeah.
Which is a big problem.
That's his best role.
Whatever.
Dude, when is Hulu, Amazon Prime, Netflix gonna grab fucking
They won't.
Home Improvement? I need it.
I guarantee somebody has it. What did
Dude,
that air
none-
on? ABC?
Or CBS.
I think it was ABC.
Yeah, maybe.
So I bet
It was
it's on
ABC.
Hulu, actually. You should look into that. Anyways,
Okay.
Cass, go ahead.
Tony Hale played as Forky.
Love it. I just
Fucking
kept hearing Buster
loved
Bluth.
it.
Amazing. I hope
Dave.
so. Let me stop you there because when Disney starts their streaming service, there's going to be a 10-episode short form series with Forky, and it's going to debut in November. So I assume that they're going to bring Tony Hale back.
They have to. Dude,
Yeah.
he was freaking awesome. I love Tony Hale. It was a combination of Buster Bluth and a combination of his role in Veep. I
100%.
forget his.
He's just super
It's-
timid, kept trying to kill himself.
Dude, loving the gossip too. He's like he's all about the gossip, and then he's just like, "I'm litter, I'm free." He's just like
would've
calling
been-
people backhanded compliments like trash. I fucking thought his was the best. I thought he was fantastic in this.
The only way it could have been better is if they cut off one of his hands and gave him a hook, just to be
Yes.
Buster. That would have been amazing. Anyways,
And
keep
also,
going.
one of those things, I saw the little girl Bonnie, who made Forky, was like falling asleep and like bobbing her head and then poking her chin with a spork. That's like one of the worst forms of torture ever, right? It's like putting your head somewhere and then having it fall on a fucking fork so you can't fall asleep.
That's like Chinese water torture,
Dude.
where you can't
Yeah.
fall asleep because every now and then you just get a drop of water on your forehead, and then it slowly drives you insane.
That's insanity. That is
Yeah.
pure insanity.
Absolutely.
All right, next, we have Keegan-Michael Key as Ducky and Jordan Peele as Bunny.
Ducky and Bun were the best part of this movie, hands down. Funniest
Dude,
part,
no,
I guess I should say.
thought Forky was better. I liked Mo Peep's storyline as well, but I did love the addition of Keegan-Michael Key and Jordan Peele.
Who's the voice of Bo Peep?
Annie Potts.
Okay.
Do you know
Because
who
I
that is?
Christina Hendricks was also Gabby Gabby. So she was from Mad Men, and yeah. So she's got a great
Okay.
voice for that. I thought that was perfect. She's got that kind of old timey tinge to her voice. I thought that was really well done.
Agreed. So we had Joan Cusack as Jessie.
She's always been
Which is
Jessie,
just
and
like-
she was barely in this movie, which
That's what I'm saying. What'd you think about Jessie's role here? Because she just was like, I got an idea, like 3 different times just to make sure that people didn't forget about her.
her voice kind of drives me nuts because she's kind of got a lisp.
Okay.
She was fine. I had no problem with the fact that they kind of got away from the original group of toys for this movie because it was time for something new. And
I agree.
they replaced those toys with new characters, new voices. Bo
One of
Peep
those-
is basically the fucking Road Warrior, which I loved.
Keanu Reeves, Duke Kaboom.
Duke Kaboom's
Yes,
a
and then we
great
got
character.
Keanu Reeves as Duke Kaboom. Like the list goes on with all these goddamn celebrities. It's
Ducky
insane.
and Bun, dude, so great. So yeah,
Well, let's talk about Duke Kaboom. What'd you think about him?
I wish they'd given him a little more. But also, I think Keanu does not. Not that he can't be a voice actor, but that's not where he shines. I need to see Keanu's face.
Yeah, that's not his lane. You need him. in
Fine,
action
but
movies.
also I think he played a great Duke Kaboom. Like I just kept thinking of Shane Falco, you know, like the lovable loser, and then all of a sudden he just like at the end he just like comes back and clutches it. Like I was sold on some Duke Kaboom.
What was the name of the kid that he kept having flashbacks to? It was some stupid French name.
George Wolk or some shit. I don't know.
I don't know. It was super funny every time he said it, though.
And then the last one I'm going to talk about here is Giggle McDimples, the cop, played by Ally Mackey, who I'm not sure who that is actually.
Wasn't she?
She's in Wrecked. I don't know if you guys saw that. It was on TBS. It's pretty
Okay, I
funny.
guess I thought that was somebody else.
Yeah, no, but she put like so the character itself, Giggle McDimples, the little police officer. What'd you think of her?
I thought that was pretty funny as an additional, just kind of background character. Same as what was it, Combat Carl? The
Oh,
G.I.
yeah.
Joe guys that showed up in the background.
The Arctic
And then the
suit
third,
guy that
the
didn't
third
get
guy
any
like didn't get the high
fives.
five. Yes,
He does if
I
you
love
stick
that
around till
scene.
the end for the end credit scene.
Yep.
If you stick around at the Pixar thing at the very end, he gets one from Duke Kaboom.
This movie had
Nice.
some of the best end credit scenes I've seen in a while too.
Very good stuff. Disney
They're
remains
fantastic.
king on this. And I guess we can talk about the actual plot for this a little bit. Basically, Bonnie is now the owner of these toys. Woody's not getting the attention that he was used to with Andy. He goes to school there one day. She makes Forky, who is supposed to be basically her only friend. So she's super in love with Forky. Forky has to go everywhere, except Forky has an existential crisis and wants to kill himself all the time.
Because he's trash and thinks he belongs in trash.
And he thinks that's his purpose in life, yeah. So Woody spends the entire 2 hours of this movie protecting Forky.
And trying to convince him that he's a toy.
And basically throwing everybody else by the wayside the entire time. Like, he put everybody in perilous danger.
Oh, my God.
Well, you notice that he kind of doesn't have anything to live for except for this. So it kind of gives him a reason to do it too, to throw these people to the wayside, because you notice that Bonnie never says Woody's name once in the entire movie.
There are so many underlying messages in all of these movies. I don't know if you guys are familiar with the fan theories about Toy Story, but there are so many of them, and I wrote a few of these down, like for instance, like Andy's father was dead in the original Toy Story, and that's why he was so dependent on these toys to create a reality for him.
Damn.
Toy Story is about nature versus nurture, which is basically what the toys turn out to be like, how they act based on their owner. Toy Story is a socialist metaphor.
Could be true.
It's Woody had been okay, you guys remember Lotso, the bear from Toy Story 3?
Yeah.
It was basically like, all of us need to die now because we've served our purpose. So there's one theory that says that Woody would have turned into that same type of thing if he didn't have Andy. There's a lot of really weird shit. And people think way too much about these movies, is what I'm getting at.
We're not going to spoil this one, are we?
I don't think we should.
Was this ending as depressing as the third one, though?
No.
Not
The
third
close.
one had the most depressing ending, I think, of any movie I've ever seen.
Yeah, it's that one kind of makes you want to cry even just thinking about it. Yeah. So, what do you guys think?
That's a good question for a dumb question of the week. Most depressing movie you've ever seen?
The first 10 minutes of Up.
Wow. Okay.
You're welcome.
Not what I expected. Not what I expected. Okay. Yeah. Well, we can throw that up on the Instagram and see what people say.
Okay. What's the message here? Like, what is it? Something about like how it's time for everybody to grow up? Is it about doing your own thing regardless of what's expected of you? Am I thinking too much about this? There's an underlying message here, right? For kids, there has to be.
I think it's the whole lost and found kind of thing, because we learn that the lost toys, there's a divide between lost toys and found toys, being that one or the found toys have an owner, the ones that are lost.
Do you have
don't.
a kid?
But does that truly describe you as a toy, as being lost and found?
So you're leaning more towards about doing your own thing regardless of what people expect of you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brick, did you take anything else away from this? I'm sure that there's some weird theory that I missed completely about this, but
sure. Yeah. Just because you don't have like a kid doesn't mean life is like over. You know what I mean?
Everyone is special.
Yeah, you can just go do your thing. Just because something changes doesn't mean it's going to be a bad thing. Like, both people's like, yeah, being free is amazing. Look at this freaking world. We were in, like, what'd you think of the setting of this Toy Story? Because usually it's in just a bedroom. Usually it's just in an RV, like you guys have said before. But this time it was in or garbage dump. Yeah, a creepy antique shop, and then like a carnival outside.
Did they always? I want to go back and watch, especially 1 and 2, because the detail now of like the street and them walking around outside and the carnival.
Always been that way.
It's ridiculous if you look at it.
The one thing that really set that off for me is when they showed the cat.
Yeah.
That looked like a real cat.
Yep.
So there's this weird uncanny valley thing because they don't draw the humans as humans.
Mm-hmm.
Like they still look cartoony, but everything else looks ultra realistic.
Yeah.
Really, really kind of crazy.
When they're on the roof and just the way that the roof, like I mean, everything on the roof, you know more about it, but how it was paved and like little sprouts of grass or like weeds poking through, like crazy shit like that.
They spent $200 million to make this movie.
Yeah.
So of course it better be gorgeous, and Pixar is king of that. So totally agree with you. The other part of that is the actual physical comedy of Toy Story. Mm-hmm. You know, the way that Woody runs like a weirdo, you know, and
the puppets.
Thank you. That's the ventriloquist dummies.
Like,
yeah.
So
creepy, but also just like when they like tilt, the guy was like pushing the little baby carriage, and then all of a sudden like his head tilted and his mouth just like dropped open. Like, I was like, that's hilarious. Just like
It's
the physical comedy
so
that
great.
was, it's one of its own.
I was laughing while being terrified at the same time. It's awesome. They did an excellent job of that. I can't say enough about it.
And that goes back to the scenery, like a creepy antique shop where the villains are creepy puppets, and the outside is like this amazing carnival where kids are everywhere and they find toys everywhere. It's like a great scene for Toy Story.
You kind of have to up the ante though. Every time you get a new movie, it has to be a new setting. Like you have to expand on that. Mm-hmm. So I think they did a pretty good job there.
Where's the next one? Toy Story 5. Where's the next setting?
I really think they might actually be done after this. I think they're going to focus on
4.
I mean, they were supposed to be done after 3. And they made 4 because they saw that they could make another $1 billion.
They're killing it right now.
Yeah, but I think that the ending that they have now is a good way to go and just kind of be done with it.
They have other properties they could bring back.
Yeah,
you can bring back Up. You can do another Finding Nemo. You can do so many.
No. See, that's the other thing is I don't think they want to keep doing sequels. They've got 2 new properties that they're announcing. You want to sell more toys. Somebody's probably still got a Buzz Lightyear from when Toy Story 2 came out, right? You got to sell more toys. You got to get more kids involved.
But at the same time,
new characters and stuff like Duke Kaboom.
Yeah, it's the new character thing.
But okay, so your other option is basically keep making new characters.
Yeah. All I'm saying is, why make a Toy Story 5 when you can make a second film for another Pixar movie?
Do you think Tom Hanks wants to keep doing these?
I don't know. Tom Hanks is a carny now, but they can like leave Woody alone, and they could do a next one could be just like a Buzz Lightyear, not standalone, but like maybe he gets a new villain or someone who's like a secret agent toy, and they got to go on a secret agent mission.
I think I'm happy with leaving it right here.
I was happy with 3, but Toy Story 4 came out and it was awesome.
Okay.
I don't want them to stop making these. I think these are good.
I would, if they did another one, I would want to see Bo Peep's side, and that's it, because she's complete badass in this. She's a total road warrior, does whatever she wants, and she's awesome.
Or a Ducky and Bunny spinoff.
Ducky and Bun have to be there, yeah.
Or just a spinoff, their own movie.
That's the kind of thing they would do with a TV show, I think. Which is
I
also
don't think they can do their own movie. They're definitely an auxiliary character. Like, what is their motives? I don't see it.
To find a kid.
Sadistic motives, obviously, from the movie.
To attack a little old lady, yeah.
Those were the best parts, when they're coming up with all these plans and they're just so fucked up.
The best part was the recurring joke that Jeff Garland's character kept having, where he was talking about getting Bonnie's dad arrested.
Yeah, sending him to jail.
Sending him to prison. He didn't even say arrested. He's like, let's just get her dad sent to prison.
I thought he was going to jail at the end.
That's great, though, because that recurring joke had that payoff. It was excellent. It was very well executed.
Hilarious.
So. Dude, oh my God. Can I actually just read off? Let me just read off the rest of this cast, because I won't give the names of the characters, but like we got Bonnie Hunt. This is Carl Weathers, Don Rickles, Jeff Garlin, Laurie Metcalf, Mel Brooks, Carol Burnett, Betty White, Bill Hader.
Who was Betty White?
Bitey White.
What? What the hell is that?
The character's name was Bitey White, okay. Bite White. I don't know who the hell.
Yeah, whatever.
She was in it though. She was one of the. She was one of the new toys.
I didn't know who Christina Hendricks was. She plays. She's in Mad Men. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Anything else you guys want to say about this before we rate it?
See it.
Okay. I guess that's a no. Yeah, I think you can go see this in the theaters. Obviously, if you were going to go see this, you probably already would have. It's a perfect date movie, or if you have kids. This isn't too scary for like a young kid, is it?
No.
They might grow up to hate ventriloquist dummies, but who still has ventriloquist dummies anyways?
Psychos, so your kid's gonna be crazy anyway.
Probably people who believe in ghosts.
Lean into it.
Brick, what do you rate it?
See it.
Yeah, I didn't love this quite as much as Erica did, but she's obviously the huge Disney head. She's
not biased at all. Yep.
She even talked about the score, which is just Randy Newman singing stuff that doesn't make any sense, as it has been for the last 3 movies. So I don't know. She wasn't happy with the ending. I thought it was a great way to end this storyline. She hated it. So I guess not everybody likes it.
Boss, what up,
What are you
dog?
rating it?
I say see it.
Okay.
So that's it. Let's do our recommendations for the week. Mark, what have you been watching or doing or whatever?
Man, I don't have. Oh, I'm watching. This is old news. I'm watching Billions, and I'm loving it.
Ugh.
You don't like Billions?
I can't stand. What's the main character's name? Paul Giamatti. I can't stand Paul Giamatti. I don't know
What's wrong
why.
with Paul Giamatti?
It's something about his face. I just don't like it.
He plays a very good, unlikable person.
Really?
Yeah,
Right.
but he's not supposed to be super unlikable in this. He's actually the good guy in this.
Well, no, you play both sides of the fence. He's supposed to be a good guy, but he's kind of an asshole. You're kind of rooting for the guy, the billionaire who's fucking skimming money or whatever.
Look, I couldn't get into it. And it's about stuff that I am usually interested in, like investing and stuff like that. I just couldn't get into it.
I watched the first 2 seasons. I thought it was pretty good. And then what season is it on now? It's on
3 or 4,
three,
maybe.
4, 5.
Yeah, I think 4. I like
Okay.
it though. I think the acting
It's
is
solid.
awesome in it.
I thought you were going to talk about Gucci Mane.
Oh yeah, forgot about that. I guess that is my my next recommendation. Yeah, so Gucci Mane just dropped an album a couple days ago. This one is called Delusions of Grandeur. It has a bunch of people featured on it. Brick, even Justin Bieber's on a song, but it's your typical just savage rap trap music. It's great. Go check it out. Gucci.
Awesome.
I picked up Brockmire again. I stopped watching after season 1, and season 2 is just as good. And there's a 3rd season, I think, that just wrapped up. It's probably one of the funniest shows on TV. You guys remember
think?
doing a Brockmire episode?
I remember that.
I love Brockmire. Brockmire
Yeah,
is
it
awesome. I
still
finished the
on
whole season. It
What
was
is it?
great.
IWC? What is it?
IFC.
IFC?
It's Hank Azaria does basically a spoof, or he's mocking baseball announcers, except he's a
Just
huge
a bit
alcoholic.
outside. Then he goes on terrible rants about how his wife got fucking laid because she's a whore. It's basically that.
Yes,
It's
that's
awesome.
exactly what it is. Except he does all the drugs and drinks all the booze and does terrible things. He's an awful person, but you
He's
end
still
up
just
siding
as
with.
awful in the second.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
if not worse.
Yeah.
So that's what I've been watching. Brick,
Okay,
what about you?
my recommendation is here's my real best man alive because I just saw this on Twitter 1 second ago. But Mac, I forget his last name, but he's from Always
It's
Sunny.
Rob McElhenney.
Rob McElhenney, yes. He finally had his first catch with Chase Utley, which is like a running inside joke that he like loves. He's in love with Chase Utley. So he actually like Chase Utley threw out the first pitch and Mac was behind the mound to catch it. This happened apparently yesterday or maybe
It was a
prior
couple days
today.
ago, yeah.
And so Always Sunny tweeted out, "Dear Chase, I feel like I can call you Chase because you and me are so alike. I'd like to meet you one day, and it would be so great to have a catch. I know I can't throw as fast as you, but I think you'd be impressed with my speed. I love your hair. You run fast." Just classic Mac. That's
It's
amazing.
hilarious that that's just slightly better than the vocabulary that Charlie has. When he's writing
just
something.
barely. I would love it if Charlie wrote that because Charlie just is fucking Mac is a bastard man type shit. It's amazing. I can't believe you didn't bring this up, dude. What's that golf show?
Holy moly, I was just getting that. I
Oh
love
my
it.
God,
It's the
dude.
dumbest show. Somehow they got Steph Curry, Rob Riggle, and Joe Tessitore to announce what is basically a game show that is a mixture of mini golf and Ninja Warrior.
What's it on? Oh
It's,
my god,
it's
that
on
seems
ABC.
amazing.
I think it
I would
airs
say
on
it's
Sundays.
more of a-
I think it's on tonight.
Oh,
The
amazing.
show
I
is
would say
Hilarious.
more of a mix of it's like golf, it's mini golf, and then like remember MXC is they kind of have weird obstacles like that. I don't know about Ninja Warrior. I haven't seen Ninja Warrior, so I don't know. But
It's
I
the
think it's
same thing.
not as hard as like people just like get kind of wonked. You know what I mean? Like hit by things and then just like get tossed a little bit.
And the people
But-
that are competing are just absolute goobers, and it's
Yes.
perfect. It's so funny.
One guy was dressed as a unicorn. Another person had banana pants. She was a
And,
lesbian, I'm pretty sure.
There's a lumberjack. Yeah, it's great show. Can't recommend it enough. It's the pinnacle of really stupid but still entertaining TV.
How do
Yes.
they make the mini golf extreme? I'm sure they do something
It's
to
like-
keep you.
You gotta
Some
watch.
ridiculous.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's
Ridiculous.
like they have one competition where Steph Curry is a scratch golfer, by the way, which just
Yeah,
makes
he's
me
good.
so pissed because he's just good at everything apparently, and he's a millionaire and
He's
whatever.
good at the long ball. That's in all aspects.
Yeah, so he's on the show, and one of the things is whoever hits putts closest to this spot, like it's bocce ball, gets the choice of either Steph Curry chips your shot and tries to get it on the green, or a robot with Rob Riggle's face on it chips it. It's
talking
so
shit
stupid.
to Steph Curry. It was great. It's
so
a
stupid
funny
and so
show.
funny. But yes, also you always choose Steph Curry in that position, never the robot.
Yeah, the idiot chose the robot.
I know,
and
so
then
dumb.
he did have the closer hit, but then he botched the putts. But
Yeah, no spoilers, bro. Anyways, holy moly on ABC, it's hilarious. Joe Tessitore is the fucking announcer. I don't understand why, but
him and Rob Riggle are
great.
pretty funny together too.
Yeah, so
The professionalism with like the ridiculousness is a good compliment.
So that was episode 148 of the Chumpcast. As always, you can find us on social media at the Chumpcast. You can call or text us at 847-920-6107. Until next time.
Chumps out, motherfucker.
Peace.
My voice is still gone. Can't hit that note anymore.
Getting older.